Hi guys, in this video we're going to look into the Extrude Tool, so just the Extrude Tool in this. We have covered this in video number 3, the spaceship modeling, basic modeling techniques there as well. I'm going to cover it in its entirety in this video on its own, plus a few more extra little things you might not be aware of. So extrude, when we extrude we want to extrude faces, so I'm holding right click here to select face, so I can select the component here. I'm then going to select that face. Going to click the extrude button up here. So this is on my polygons modeling shelf. I can also access that on my modeling toolkit. That's not working for me right now. I'll need to look into why that's happening. But I can also go up to edit mesh and I can find extrude there as well. So extrude is where I can pull out a face. Okay, I'm using the arrow keys here to pull out this face. The little boxes allow you to scale, so I can resize this face that I've just extruded. If I select here and I select here, so I've held shift in between those two clicks, I can extrude in between there and extrude two things at the same time. Okay, so I could now scale those here, and again I can keep extruding. So I can pull out here to build a little ledge, select here, click extrude, take those up and pull them across there, scale them in. Okay, some things you may find, if I do select two things on opposite sides of the mesh and I press that extrude tool there and pull those out, if I try to move them backwards on the x-axis, so the red one, this works fine. If I try to move them up, I will get a slight error here. So you can see they're both kind of going up and down different ways. So what I can do is I can click on here and I can change that. So now when I move up, they will go up. When I go down, they move down. So what this is doing is it's changing between local space and world space. So I'll do a little video on local space and world space as well, but basically that's what's happening here. So you can, if you change this to world space, then it moves everything on the world. So it moves it from the origin, it keeps everything uniform there. Okay, as well as extruding outwards, so I can really easily extrude outwards. I can do the opposite, so I can press extrude. I've got this sort of little menu here, so I can do an offset. So an extrude's a way to really easily do like a little inset of a face. So I've created an edge loop that goes around here. So now I can hit extrude again and go in. Push that in. So I can extrude in as well as extruding out. So okay, I could maybe hit that extrude button again, click and drag on this word offset. Be really careful. Okay, so that looks good. I could maybe pull that forward, so I've actually created a little sort of ramp there now, and now I could extrude again to pull this out. So this is the sort of center of this thruster or whatever I've created. Okay. Some other ways to extrude, there's a few other ways. You can hold shift right click whilst you've got faces selected, and you'll notice that you get this quick access menu. So shift right click is context sensitive. You can go down to extrude face here and we can access that here. So as well as going up to your shelf, as well as going up to mesh tools, you can find extrude face there, and you're going to get the exact same option. So that's shift right click. I've got extrude face here. I can pull that up there. I can also just hold the shift key when I've got the move key selected. So I've pressed W there to access my move key. If I hold shift, you'll notice that extrude appears there. So if I let go of shift, extrude disappears. So that's moving it normally. Then if I hold shift, I can pull up, and then this lets me extrude. So if you want to extrude quicker, you can just hold shift, and we can do loads of these. I can then hold right click, go to my vertex, and I could start to do some things with these vertices that I've just made. So I can grab those there. I'm going to use my scale tool to flatten them and then scale them inwards. I'm going to create, I don't know what this is, some kind of weird tower thing here. It's going to kind of sort of taper up to, maybe it's a chimney. Okay, so some things to be aware of when you are using extrude. Please please be careful when you click that extrude button. So if I just press extrude here, it has done that extrude. So although it doesn't look different, I can click off that here, it doesn't look any different. But if I was to grab that face, wiggle that face, you're going to find that it has actually created that geometry. That geometry exists in there. If we look really carefully, I could just grab one of these verts here, move one. You can see that there's a slight error going on there. So you want to try and avoid anything like that. So I would just Control Z back until that face gets unselected, so I know that that's finished that there. Okay, there's a few more things the Extrude tool can do. We will look at these in the future, but for now that's the basics of Extrude. Thanks guys.